All right, guys, we are back for another edition of the Coach Ali Smith Show, brought to you by Kia, store of Rainbow City and Gadsden. Coach Smith, we are coming off a tough loss against a very good Hewitt-Trussville team. Talk to us a little bit about that game last week.
Well, as you start out, man, we had our kids played extremely hard, man. They did. They fought to the end. But it was a lot of self-inflicted wounds. You can't have 6 personal fouls. You can't turn the ball over in the red zone and expect to win and beat teams of that quality at any point of the season. So hopefully it was a learning lesson for us all as a coaching staff and as from a team standpoint to get better.
Right. Kind of at the gate, the defense came out, had a pretty good stand. They finally got Trussville off the field after a few plays, and then your offense just comes out, I think, 3 plays, and they're in the end zone. Talk to us about that momentum starting the game out.
Well, defensively for us, basically the tempo of Trussville gave us a little trouble, and our kids, they understood that. We worked on it and talked about it in certain parts of the summer and tried to simulate it a little bit, and it's just hard to simulate it, but I thought that they settled in and did some good things later on, but it took a little time for them to get settled in on it. But our offense played lights out, man. They did an excellent job of executing their plan. Then the coaches put a lot of time in it, looking for mismatches, and it don't hurt to have a running back like T.J. Worthy to run through some tackles and do some things to get us in the end zone and set up to keep the balance attack going. So, man, we were really proud of that group.
Yeah, because it seems like Trussville had a hard time stopping your run game. TJ had several runs, and Luke was able to break off for a few runs. So it seemed like that was something. Is that something you noticed in breaking that film down against them?
Well, yes, and with those guys, with TJ and Luke, as well as Correa, he did a really good job. Sending a little mix up with those 3 guys right there in the running game and different things like that. So we felt like that we could move the ball on them. Our offensive line did a good job of controlling them and picking up their slants and then trying to show us some late stunts and different things like that. So, we felt good about it, and our offensive coach staff did a good job of game planning.
Yeah, that was something big, and of course your defense. Defense has been pretty stout, all year. But I think they maybe got a little gas, towards the end of the game, like you said, because of the pace of the Trussville offense.
Oh yeah, and when you play teams like Hewitt, some nights you have to know, and we talked about it as a staff and as a team that you sometimes you have to match a little bit. Nowadays, when you look at the Super Bowl, you look at college playoff series and different things like that. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, the teams that's in those games they're scoring points and they're matching point for point. Right. And so you're gonna have to get a stop here, there, and you're gonna have to, change field position with some specialty stuff. And so with our defensive guys, we knew we gave up way too many points there, but you knew that they would score a few points.
Right. I know you guys named your players of the week this week. You had T.J. Worthy for offense, Jarrell Brasher for defense, and you had 2 for special teams, Kirill Yao and Jaden Duran. Talk to us about those guys and why you chose them as your players of the week.
Jaden, I started with him on he joined us. This is his first time. He's a senior kicker, and he started with us this past spring. Wanted to come out, and we had an all-state kicker, and Gabe Brito that's hurt. Right. And this kid, he just wanted to come out and try it, and it was tough for him throughout the spring and the summer. Okay. Man, he's worked his tail off, and he's gotten really good. He hit some good balls for us the other night. Okay. Did an excellent job handling the kicking duties. And then with Correa, in the return game, he did an excellent job for us and running through tackles and just continuing to sustain plays for us. And then on defense, obviously, it goes without saying, Jarrell had a really good game. And TJ, he, hopefully he can continue to get better, continue to understand his blocking schemes, and, he's working. He's a workhorse, and we glad to have him on our team. Yeah. I think that the sky's the limit for him. He's going to get better and better as the year goes.
Exactly. So this week, starts region play. These are the games that count. You got Buckhorn. You guys are on the road to Buckhorn. They're coming off a pretty big loss against a pretty good Helena team. Talk to us. Talk to us a little bit about what you've seen so far on film with Buckhorn.
Well, they're a sound team, man. They're good at what they do. They're big up front on offense and defensive line. Coach Patterson does a good job. He's gonna have them ready to play. As we told our kids this, we're not sneaking up on anyone in our region this year.
Right.
They're gonna be gunning for us every single body every time we play. We going on the road. This is our first game on the road this year. This is their first home game, so it's opening night for them. So the crowd's gonna be big.
Yeah.
They're gonna be excited, and it's a region game. So everything is riding on this. This is their Super Bowl as well as our Super Bowl.
Right.
So our kids need to understand that we're going into that game with a business mindset. This is a business trip for us, and they got a good little running game. They can push the ball down the field, different things. They defensive front, again, like I said, it's real big guys, and we got to be able to control them up front.
Good deal. Offensively, you talk about their run game. Just talk to us a little bit about them on offense and some of the things that you're going to do to slow that run game down.
Well, we hope our front seven, can continue to do a good job and don't lose their gaps and stuff. They'll run a little bit of RPO stuff, a little play action stuff to try to get you out of your lanes. And our secondary guys have got to do a good job of keeping their eyes where they need to be, and keeping them out of the backfield, and let those guys up front control what they supposed to control, and they control the back end. But we're going to just try to play sound, fundamental football and not get out of our gaps and our lanes and just play assignment ball and try not to give up the big play.
All right. And defensively, talk to us about their defense and what you've seen from them.
Again, like I said, they're a balanced unit up front. They'll bring a few pressures and different things off the edges and different things. They want to try to mix the coverages a little bit to kind of confuse us. But again, we want to just ball control, different things like that. We want to try to push the ball down the field when we get an opportunity to. But we also want to establish the run. And I don't think that it's going to be a secret. We're going to try to run the football. We're going to run the football with the guys in the backs that we have, and that's not going to be a secret. And I think as we go through the season, people see that more and more.
Right. And one thing I've noticed from you guys on offense, you've played all three of your quarterbacks. Is that something you plan on continuing doing for the rest of the season, or?
Well, as you go, everybody wants to settle in on one, and we're going to get to that point. But right now, it's been this first two ball games for us was still like almost a fall camp setting where we're working, and you talk about glory. I'm not going to say this and be silly with it, but glorified scrimmages in terms of we got to still find out who can play and what, who's going to be most efficient with our team, where people more valuable for us to win long term. Right. And so those are some of the things. But right now, there's something for each one of them to do on the team, but we'll probably settle in on one pretty soon.
Okay. All right. Well, good deal. Well, Coach, I appreciate you sitting in. Good luck to you guys this week on the road to Buckhorn, and go Titans.
Go Titans.